Hey guys, welcome back to another video from our series, How to Train Your Puppy. Today we're going to be going over sits, downs, and foundation of recall. It's pretty straightforward, so let's jump into it, okay? So we're going to be using luring again. We're going to start with the sit. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our piece of food, and we're going to put it right in front of our puppy's nose, hey? And we're just going to lift straight up like this. Yes. Okay. And then as soon as they put their butt down, you're going to mark with a yes and reward them. All right, I'll show you again. Right down at their level, slowly lift up, yes, okay. Good, and remember the key to luring is to keep that treat as close to their nose as possible. With her, she's got great drive, and we've done this a few times, so if I lift up, okay, she's gonna understand, but a lot of the times, again, you move too quickly, you're gonna lose their focus. So one more time, Ren. Right at their nose, lift straight up, yes, okay, good job. Now we're going to be going over the downs, okay? So with the downs, you're going to take that piece of food, same thing, bring it down to their level, and you're actually going to push it down towards them. Yes, okay. You're going to be pushing down at a 45-degree angle. I like to say you're going to be pushing down right in between their front paws there. Now some dogs respond differently. You might have to drop it straight down, but most dogs will respond best if you go towards them. Yes, okay. And what we want, the reason why we go towards them is we want them to fold into the down. We want them to make that nice sphinx looking down. And so if we just bring it forward, you see she's gonna crawl. Yes, okay. Instead, again, if I bring it towards her, yes, okay. You can see she drops down right away, all right? The next and last one we're gonna be working on is the foundation of our recall. So what we're gonna do, piece of food, down at her level, slow steps, again, just like we did in the first video, and I'm going to lift up. Yes, okay. And I'm gonna lift up when she gets to me, and the reason being is I want her to sit at the end. When I teach a recall, I want the dog to come to me and sit in front of me. If they're coming and they're sitting, then one, they're in a more relaxed position, so they're more likely to stay there, allow you time to put on the leash, put on the collar. It's overall much safer. Also, if you don't have a clear position on when they end up, a lot of the time they'll just come to you and take off again. So we want them to come to you and expect a treat and wait and sit nicely. So one more time, Ren. Lift straight up, yes, okay. And notice I haven't said anything for any of these commands just yet. And the reason being is I don't want to give a verbal to a behavior that I can't enforce yet. And right now, if I were to tell her to sit, if I were to tell her to lay down, if I were to tell her to come, and she didn't, and I have no way of enforcing that, let's say she's not super hungry right now and she'd rather go chase a squirrel or go say hi to another dog, then you really don't have a way to cement that behavior, and now that behavior starts to mean nothing. So I wait until I have an enforcing cue, which is usually leash pressure, before I start attaching a verbal to a behavior. Now, with the one exception, I will start a little early with the recall, and that's because I generally have a little more focus. I'm putting it right in front of their nose. It's usually a little easier, a little simpler for them to understand, but I won't go too far past that. So, down at their level, slow steps, up, yes, okay. Then, if that's looking really good, her recall's coming along nicely, then you can start attaching the verbal to that one. And so all I'm going to do is I'm going to take the piece of food and I'm going to say, Ren, here. Yes, okay. Good. And I prefer to use here instead of come because I have two separate recalls. I have what I call my formal recall and I have my informal recall. My formal recall is when I'm expecting a certain position like this. My informal recall is when I just want her to catch up to me. There's not any specific position that I'm looking for. I just want her to check in. So, with the formal, Ren, here, straight up, here, yes, okay. And if it's a little crooked, you can take one step back and adjust it. I want to get her as straight as possible, especially if you're looking into competition sports. Now, for the informal recall, I keep it real simple. I might go away from her. Ren, come on. Yes. And notice I didn't have her sit. I didn't have her come centered in front of me. I just wanted her to come to me. Ren, come. Yes. Good job. Good girl. and then she can go back to doing whatever she wants to do. Right now, she chooses to engage. Come. Yes, good girl. Okay. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Couple closing tips for you to remember. Number 1, take your time with your lure. Keep it right in front of your dog's nose. Don't move it too quickly or you might lose them. Number 2, don't name any of these behaviors until we can enforce the command and until you love what it looks like. The only exception is the recall, but make sure not to add any distractions or distance just yet. Next week we'll be going over manual pressure. We'll see you next time for Volume 4.